Hi, I'm Sian. Welcome to Yumfest, and today I'm going to show you how to make a really simple loaf of white bread. The ingredients are 500 grams of strong white bread flour, and you can get this in much bigger packs, but if it's your first go, why not have a go with this, because you don't have to weigh it. A lot of people don't like weighing. So I'm going to pop that in the bowl. You can sieve it if you want to, but I've never seen the point. 7-gram sachet of fast action dried yeast. This is, you find these in the supermarkets. Again, you don't have to measure it, it's in a packet for you already. Then 1 teaspoon of plain old sugar, whatever sugar you've got, and 1 teaspoon of salt. Then just give that a little bit of a mix round, and then what I've got is 300 millilitres of water. The water is warm water. To make this mix, I've used 200 millilitres of cold water and then top up with kettle water to 300 millilitres. Making a little well in the middle of the mixing bowl, and I put everything but a tiny drop, just in case it's too wet, in there, and then mix it round with a spoon. It doesn't take long to start coming together. And then the great thing about bread is if you put too much water in, you can always put a little bit more flour in. Of course, you've used all your flour if you haven't got bigger bags of it, but you can always add a little bit of normal plain flour if that's the case. Or, it's always good to have another open bag of strong plain flour to dust the surface if you're kneading it, etc. I'm going to put all of that in because it does need it. And there you go. Sling that away. And then you can just get in there with your hand then and start mixing it. It doesn't take long to come together actually. See, that's coming together nicely now. And you might think, oh, it's too dry, but just keep going with it for a minute or two, and actually some wet spots will start coming out, and you'll be able to soak up all those bits of flour around the edge. That's very good actually, it's good therapy doing this. So as you can see, that's all together now. There you go, all together. And then what you can do is you just move that out of the way. A little bit of flour on your surface. And you can start giving it a proper knead. And you do need to knead this, for about 5 minutes. So rather than you watching me do this for 5 minutes, I'll just come back in 5 minutes. 5 minutes that, it's nice and springy, and I'm going to put that back in the bowl. And I've got a nice clean tea towel to put over the top of that, and just put that in a warm place for 30 minutes. Okay, so that's risen for half an hour, and as you can see, it's kind of doubled in size, and that's what you want. A little poke in there, it stayed where it is. Now what we need to do now is knock the air out of this. So just scoop it all out, get all the go. And then a little bit of flour again. So I'm going to knock the air out of it. You can see it's definitely bigger now and much more springy. And a bit more kneading, get in there with that part of your hand. It can hurt if you use the knuckles, so get in there with that bit. Okay. And then you need to do that for another 5 minutes. So that's 5 minutes of kneading, and I think that's about ready. It's really nice and springy now. Okay. Now, what you need to do is kind of roll it out a bit and just sort of shape like that. I'm going to put it in a 2-pound loaf tin, 900 grams that is. You can grease the tin, or as we like convenience, I'm putting a liner in. You can get them in pound shops. The reason I'm using a liner is I don't like a really hard crust around the sides, and that seems to work for me to do it. But don't panic if you haven't got those. It's just a bit crustier. If you like crusts, then grease the tin. So sort of flatten that out. You don't need to grease if you have these liners. And that's ready to go back in a warm place for 30 minutes. And then we'll have a look at it. Okay, that's been rising for 30 minutes, and if you give it a little poke, if it stays there, that's about ready to go in the oven. You need to turn the oven on to warm up about 10 minutes before it's risen. So at about the 20 minutes point, turn the oven on. And it's 170, and I think that's gas mark 6. 180 if you're using a conventional oven. Right, I'm going to pop this in the oven now. Smells absolutely fantastic in here. So this bread's been in for half an hour. I'll just give it a little test, tip it out, turn it over. Nice hollow sound. That's what I'm going to do. Put that on a wire rack to cool, and basically that's how simple it is to make your bread. You can glaze the top of it, you can put all manner of seeds, etc. on it, but this is a basic loaf of bread